Greetings, noble guests. My name is Noble Quest, and welcome to The Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. I've never played this before, but I've heard good things about it. And I also have heard that it's very underrated. So I'm hoping that I'm carving a nice I'm hoping I'm carving a nice niche for myself by playing this. Furthermore, there's plenty of future material to work with, catch up on. But yeah, I hardly know anything about this game. Well, I know it's an RPG, but still, I don't know all that much about it, story-wise. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to get into this. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, difficulty. I like the nightmare one. It's your funeral. May Idios be with you. I'll just go normal. I don't want to be stuck on this for too long. Empty kitchen table with okay. Now there's Estelle. Oh dear. She's alone at the dinner table. It's nighttime. That's not good. She says, Daddy's really late. Boy, that does not sound good. I am very afraid for this dad's life right now. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. Oh no, Oh, he works at a guild? Oh boy, howdy. Sorry, Estelle. Yeah, it's night, too. And Cher has gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. Cher could be a friend or a mentor, perhaps. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a little more before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Oh, Daddy! Oh, I thought you were dead. Cassius. Ooh, okay. Sorry to have kept you waiting still. Did you take care of that good Did you take good care of the house while I was away? I'm sorry, you're looking after you left a child to look after this house by herself. I'm sorry, either Estelle's really responsible enough so that you would trust her to be by herself, or or I'm sorry, I don't know what else to think about that. Yeah, that just sounds irresponsible to me. Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though, I brought you a present. That present looks oddly like a child. Really? What kind of present? New fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Well, maybe if you didn't leave her alone to look after the house, maybe she would have turned out better, Cassius. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? Dude, seriously, like I'm people can be into a lot of different things. Honestly, I'm starting to think your parenting or lack thereof is the problem here, Cassius. I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. That's a practical mind, Estelle. I like that. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it. Again, practical. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? I think that's the baby. Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. I agree, Cassius. Now why don't you come have a look? Boy. Okay. Ooh. Looks kind of beat up, too. What? Well, here you are. Now you're foisting an infant on her. Honestly, Cassius, quite a handsome boy, don't you think? What? Why is my present a boy? Would you have been happier if the present was a girl, Estelle? Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? He does look kind of beat up, Cassius. Looks kind of dead, if you ask me. That was what I thought. Sort of like this character. I've treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. You got over that quick. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair. Kind of an odd comment. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it. I feel like that'll be significant. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Oh. That's a good point. Like, who is this boy? Where does he come from? I have questions too, Estelle. Fess up. Yeah. Who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray mommy? Okay, there is a mother in the picture. Okay, good. Estelle's not by herself. Where have you been picking up these kinds of words? Mom, perhaps? No doubt from Sherazar, soon. Possibly. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days with all of her nonsense. Anyway, I just met this boy while he was out on business. I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that? Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow. His eyes really are the color of amber. Where am I? So you're awake now too, are you? Let me guess, he's amnesia. Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please, just try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Perhaps Cassius is a better man than I think he is. Why? That's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you? Probably not. Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Oh, so Cassius is famous. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! Just jumps on him. Feet first. You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. True, but kind of just hurt him further a bit by jumping full body onto him and stuff. Running your mouth like that is just going to make it longer for your body to heal. So's jumping on him. Just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it. Wait a minute, don't try and change the sub. Ow! Man. This kid's got some high pain tolerance if it's just ow. Quit yelling! Alright already. You jumping on me like that isn't gonna make me heal any faster either. My point exactly. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just gonna make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind, just forget it. As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Your name. You know, that thing that people call you. I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? Um, it seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... I thought we were going to name him. Okay. There's him. I presume. Okay, title screen. Okay, still staff that you mentioned. Ooh, two swords. Harmonica. Nice. Different exactly. Cassius. Sure. Where's that in music? Guns. Not that that guy needs them. Probably a dramatic scene later in the game. Okay. Watch. Oh, let's sign it. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if the watch is signal. Okay, starting to see different factions here. Kingdoms, perhaps. Yeah, I just don't want this to get like copyright claimed with the theme music, so I can't talk about it. Sorry. Yeah, I thought from the title I thought we were in like some kind of sky city, but there are airships. Classic JRPG. Nice, nice. Ah, an egg or multiple eggs, I suppose. Ah, we flash forward a couple years now. Estelle's older. Uh, it's so bright in here. it's daytime. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. Wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Okay, that's his name. Ah, guess that's a no. Okay, so it's him, actually. Well, I guess I better get myself ready then, too. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Yeah, I was already up and I heard you starting to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind. What with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age and I'm hardly a man. Tisk, tisk, tisk. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I'm clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. Really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. Huh. Really? Light, like the sun in the sky? There we go, found it. Found the light. That's right, the Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. It actually really is. I have a harmonica. I tried playing that. Tip, don't inhale. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that I don't do something. That if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. To be fair, so are all of mine. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. Necessarily. A lot of people have a lot of interests. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with ladies. Although, I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's an odd way to put it, Joshua. That's enough talk about my hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? Where's the certificate, Estelle? Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, still, Joshua. It's probably Cassius. Morning, Dad. Good morning. Oh, he calls him Dad, too. Well, so does that make sense. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. There is still one omelet. Waiting. Perhaps do we get to see Mrs. Bright? Or Sherza? Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling stuff? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. There'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers, just like you did. Okay, so bracers are what the guild members are called. Okay. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding and stuff. You can only become a junior bracer at the beginning. Or in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. I'm not afraid of a little hard. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you, too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of, then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. Why is Joshua, one of the kids, the voice of reason? I mean, I kind of relate. I was like that with my mother and my brother. But still, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've learned in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you've survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a... What is that word? I've never seen it before. Sieve? Papa's sad. And suddenly referring to himself in the third person. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? Ha! You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. You should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Chairs is going to be waiting for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Skip over the part where they get out of their seats. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner today. Is there anything particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Yes, please stop cooking. Something I like to eat. How about Rouen-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skill can handle. Or our stomachs. You're right, I just wanted to see what reaction I could get. Oh, Cassius. Okay, I'm starting to warm up to this guy. I'm hoping he's improved his parenting. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude, but I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask you before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. We're supposed to be getting the latest edition of it today. Got it. One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. Received 500 Mira. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. She probably doesn't consider her spending wasteful, if she can justify it. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazad my regards. Wait, seriously? Okay, I'm switching to my controller because my goodness, I cannot do that. Like with the mouse and keyboard, you essentially have to. You can't use WASD. You literally have to put the mouse in the direction you want to go and click and hold. So I'm not doing that. Let's see what we got. Oh, interesting. Menu is B. It's very interesting. Okay. Not expecting too much. Ah, dual wielder. Ah, it is Joshua Bright, I see. Very well, I mean, that makes sense, but still. Orbit. Interesting. All ports are okay, slotted. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, just kinda... I'm really liking the world building they've done so far. Like... A father's love, a new beginning. It's very interesting that B is the menu. Yeah. I know that that a remake was announced recently of this game, but I don't know. I had this game. There's a standing log for staff practice. Ah. Seeing they're well worn. Okay. But yeah, I really like how they've done the world building and exposition so far. Like, they kind of like feed the information to you without you really knowing that it's exposition. Interesting. West, Bright House. North, Roland. 49 Selge. South, Guren Gate. 259 Selge. You see, this is what I'm talking about. The way that they're dropping this information. City of Roland. Dropping this information without it seeming like an info dump. Looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. Okay. I was kind of hoping that they would have different names for the days, but whatever. Never dreamed you'd have to study so hard to become racers. Well, you're in luck. Today's our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Alright then, let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there then. Oh, general goods. I'm supposed to pick up the paper. Good morning, Mr. Renan. Hello there, Stella Joshua. You're up rather early today. Did you come to buy a new pair of shoes? And they mentioned, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the new Stragus. Unbelievable. You've actually already forgotten why we came in here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a copy of the Lord Barrel News for Dad, right? of course. Haha, you've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Steph? I'm afraid that the new Stragas aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of the Lord Barrel News, though, I should have them in and around noon. Noon, huh? It's right in the middle of our training at the guild house. We'll stop by again after our training is over. Sure, I'll be waiting for you. Oh, Roland Bracer. Okay, it's close by. Excellent. Ina. There you two are. Good morning, Stell. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Group. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks! Do your best. Ah, this is Shara. I was wondering. Charizard. Star and the Hangman. Okay, tarot cards. Interesting. The Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, inversions for the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since this is my last day of training, I figured, why not? Just rolls with it. I'm ready to get the show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet! Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way. It's my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Ah, Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Stella may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up how to use an orb bench with some practice. Eventually, probably. I guess there's not much I can do except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Yeah, he was ragging on her as well, even further. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Oh, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. I'm loving the dynamic. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Grace was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. Couldn't read the cards. That's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. That sounds fairly intuitive, actually. But that's not important. I think it's time to start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. Please tell me I don't actually have to remember all of this and then to do it. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. What would you like to know? Oh no. We're actually gonna have to take the test. But orbits. Orbits are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or process septium installed. Interesting. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products, weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. Okay, bracers. Okay, that's the bracer symbol. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. Interesting, they're also investigators. They aid the community in various ways such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. Okay, so kind of like a combination of mercenaries, but also like private investigators. That's interesting. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. Okay, Liberal Kingdom. Okay. Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemurian continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbits. Orbit technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with neighboring nations. Okay, so this is not the whole continent. This is okay. So that's Liberal. That's Liberal. Signet. Okay. Right. I was kind of thinking that this was a map, not of like. Yeah, I was kind of looking on the western side, like where's Liberal, but it's all Liberal. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, I'm guessing they'll invade it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. That's all. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of the training. Sharon, how is today's practical training any different than the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer. What you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor wanted. I hope I don't. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Oh, suddenly all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be confirm the details of the job you will be performing. Before that, there is something we need to give to both of you. I know. Are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, 2. Get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Ah, Bracer Note. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything you may find, where. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh, please tell me if those players make tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. Oh, I'm sure there were 2. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So, get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I'm sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go check the job description posted. Okay, when the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the job names on the list, you can put details. Okay. So I'm guessing we're going to be doing this often. Oh, there's only one. Training. Retrieve. Client Sherazad, Faith, Mira. Details to request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Merlin to bring back the contents of the chest. See Sherazad for details. Okay. Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can easily be found by clicking the Books tab of the Items menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer Notebook's shortcut button on the configuration menu. Very good. Looks like you're able to see what was posted without any trouble. I know you just jogging in place. Okay, cool. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions Bracer performs on the job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also important to Bracers. Man, let's talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are lots of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more mindful. Okay, I think that's a typo. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha. Oh, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He's graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Oh, we're just instantly there, and apparently jogging in place is a popular pastime. Here's where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support ports in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The Bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem, leave everything to me. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Okay. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit a range of effects of the installation of various types of ports. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each user. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. Okay, so if I'm correct, that means that the same orbment, when equipped on a different character, will provide different effects. That's interesting. In order to install cords, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith, too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what is it that you would like to know about? Arts. Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively for the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, the corresponding quartz must first be synthesized in an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value, and the combination of installed quartz. Okay, so lots of customization and likeness. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install a quartz with the water element. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I've described, but I think this information should suffice for you. Quartz. Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities, while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. Okay, so yeah, I remember seeing in the menu, like, Estelle, for example, had a couple green ones, so probably wind. Okay, that makes sense. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment to decide where you will be installing it ahead of you. Yeah, sepith. Sepith are fragments of septia, which are dropped by monsters. They're divided into 7 types: earth, ground, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, gold, and mirage, silver. Interesting, okay. Yeah, you typically don't think of, like, time, space, and illusion as elements. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the orbital factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which you install the synthesized quartz. Looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, and we'll have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepith. Okay? You'll receive several of each type of element of sepith. For that amount, you two should be able to synthesize quartz. I want you to begin by first making an element of quartz that will work with each of your particular orbits. In your case, Estelle, any element of quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time element of quartz. Normally at a shop, you would be able to exchange sepith for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use the service. Okay? Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear, pressing OK. OK, select modify. Time. Day. Attack. HP and defense. Alright, looks like you're able to synthesize one. I want you to increase the arts you use. Install a course into your orbit so you can use both recovery and attack arts. Okay. Actually, let's go to Joshua first. Time points. Lock up and soul stuff. Stone Hammer, Tear, Aqua, Firebolt, Airstrike. Oh, that's Earth, I think. Earth and Water. I use wind. Let's go HP. Because we get 2. Alright, looks like you got both recovery and attack arts set. You balance your arts out between each other like down here. It should make dealing with monsters much easier. You know, I thought it was Earth and Water for Estelle, but that might actually just be like the level of the tiers. Additionally, your Bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your Bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot for orbits, or slots you have available to you with a broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value when using my slots, it'd be a good idea to open them all over the level. I want you to use the 7th and open a slot on each of your orbits. Go ahead and decide which slots you want. Oh, there's connected. Oh, there's connected circuits. Okay. I see you managed to open one of your open slots this time. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, feel free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you both been waiting for, the qualification test. Park, did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me you're not about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of Razorville and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping, a little more walking? Joshua, help me. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for... I did not know that guy's name was Freddy. Thank you for all your... Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. I'll be rooting for you. I can remember that you left behind dry like this, Joshua. All of your training is finally coming down to this. The qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned at this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? Ooh, burn. You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your bracer notes, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. O divine Ideos, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you're acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. Ah, I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories, and I'm really starting to be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's not the jabbering, too. It's supposed to be a test. How about both of you try and at least look a little anxious? Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for both of you. Heh, yeah, we'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident then how about you proving you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as both of you saw on the bulletin board, this has to be a search conducted in Roland's sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Tear Bomb. Monster Guide. This is book 4. Called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. That's very straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's a pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Sheriff. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Okay. Okay, save. Alright, and I think I'm going to stop the episode right there. So, I think I'm going to stop the episode right there. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. Goodbye.